there is a new sheriff in town.
Or is he trying to ride on the fact that Edo people are naturally receptive people?
Peter Obi knows these things.
He disregarded the governor of Edo State. They are not informing him.
I think that it is a problem of the choice of words.
When you are approaching an election, you are given an array of personalities to choose from.
You are claiming someone snuck into the state and was received by Benin traditional dancers.
If there was no media, how would you have seen it? Social media is media. Democracy does not give room for citizens to act crazy.
My brother, no politician will go and donate money to somebody if it's not
Interested in something.
I'm telling you, yes.
Peter Obi donated 150 million naira to that same project in 2022.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Okay, you have done some humanitarian activities, right? Why did you do that?
So the question for both of us is, did you see it on any TV?
Allow me to finish. In life, we should learn to judge matters from a neutral perspective.
Very important.
Whether you're a political figure, whether you are a talakawa, Edo State is not for you unless you inform the governor.
Now, I have brought two beautiful and awesome persons in our studio today, and they want to discuss with me the controversial statement that our governor of Edo State had said in the past few days. And the two guests I have right here, I have Ian Victory Osben, and I have Osarity Omo Igariva. I just hope that they don't fight over this issue today, but I know we are so civilized, and we are going to address this issue in a civil manner to get and reach a reasonable conclusion. So now, we are very civilized, right? I like that. So right now, the governor of Edo State is Excellency Senator Monday Okpebholo. He had made mention of something in the past few days, and I'm going to look at me personally. I'm going to look at this in a very, very balanced mentality. I don't want to take side. I don't want to say what he said is wrong. I don't want to mention that what he said is right. But I'm going to understand why he said so. He had mentioned about a broadcast to Peter Obi. That was like a direct instruction, a message to him. He said, you are coming to Edo State. Before you come, ensure to inform me. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee your security because a new sheriff is in town. I like that sentence. A new sheriff is in town. So we have new sheriffs right here in the studio. They're going to talk to us today. So now, the governor had said a new sheriff is in town. Me, I'm hoping that it was being fatherly and brotherly enough as a governor to be like, okay, you are a political figure. When you're coming to Edo State, it's very necessary that you respect me to inform me so that I can guarantee your security. I can provide personnel that will guide your movement around. I think on a balanced point of view, I think that makes a lot of sense actually, though. But in another way, in a political narration, political analogy, they will say what the governor was trying to do by making that statement was trying to impede Peter Obi from coming to Edo State because perhaps he has a lot of fan base in Edo State. So I don't know what view you have of this matter today, Osarity and Osben. You're going to give me your view. Let's talk, analyze this issue and see how we can use this opportunity to conscientize the members of the public not to be swayed towards the political define of the matter or to be swayed towards the other direction. So let us talk. What do you think? Do you think what the governor said was right or it was wrong in any wise? Let us hear you, Mr. Osarity.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Osarity Omo Igariva. In my personal opinion, I do not believe the governor said anything wrong with his statement. The governor was simply trying to inform His Excellency Peter Obi that when X is coming to the state, he should, as a form of courtesy, he should at least inform the governor.
Oh, yeah.
The governor is the chief security officer of his state. Peter Obi is not privy to some intelligence details. He's not privy to some security information that he, the governor, His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebholo, is privy to. Additionally, Peter Obi is a PEP. He's also a VIP. When I say PEP, he's a politically exposed person.
I like that statement.
And Obi has a lot of clout. He has a lot of followers. And his presence can excite people. His presence can cause stampede. And I personally think the governor did not say anything wrong by informing him that, at least you should inform me before coming to the state so that extra security measures will be provided for him. I recall vividly, I think it was Benue State. I think they had a crisis there. Peter Obi wanted to visit Benue State. And he tried to reach Governor Alia Vele.
Yeah.
Is he Alia?
Hyacinth Alia.
Oh, Hyacinth Alia, okay. He tried to reach out to Governor Alia and Governor Alia informed him and he could not reach Governor Alia to inform him of coming to the state. Although, informing as a PEP, informing the chief security officer, which is the governor, before coming there is not a constitutional obligation. No, it is not something that is constitutional. But there are things that are conventional and there are things that are fundamental.
Based on courtesy.
Good. He tried to reach the governor of Benue, but he couldn't reach him. And what did he do? He aborted his trip to Benue out of courtesy. Recently, the former governor of Rivers State, the present minister of FCT, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, during the commissioning of the new Edo, he said that I quote, that when Peter Obi came to Rivers State to come and campaign in 2023, he took permission from him before coming to the state as the chief security officer of the state. Why did he do that? He did that because he himself, Peter Obi, understands that as a PEP, he needs extra security. And the person that can provide that for you is the chief security officer of the state, which is Mr. Governor. Additionally, sir, This same Mr. Peter Obi, when he came to Edo, he did not inform the governor. He just came into the state like that. And he knows that he himself is a crowd mover. I will not rule out the fact that he's a crowd mover. I will not rule out the fact that more people see him, they get excited. The same Peter Obi arrested El-Rufai, detained him for 48 hours for coming to Anambra without informing him. Are you not trying to say what is good for the goose is not good for the gander? Are you trying to say that Peter Obi is being selective with places that he gives custody to? Or is he trying to ride on the fact that Edo people are naturally receptive people?
I feel that he slighted the governor of Edo State. He disregarded the governor of Edo State by not informing him before coming to the state as a PEP and a VIP. I understand 100% that it is not constitutional for Peter Obi to inform the governor of Edo State. But it is something that is conventional. It is something that is fundamental. Other persons have done it. When His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, as presidential candidate of the PDP in the last general election, before visiting Rivers State, he informed Governor Wike. And Governor Wike did not align into the state because with the security information that he had was that there's possibility of violence if Atiku should step into Rivers State.
Allegedly.
I don't know. You understand?
Oh, yes.
So Peter Obi knows these things. He's still aware of things like it could also be that it is not his fault. It could also be that it's also the fault of the persons that received him in Benin. He's still in Benin. You understand?
Yeah.
Him personally, Peter Obi cannot say that if he wants to reach the governor of Edo State, person that they can't reach it, even if that event was impromptu.
All right, I would want to hold you there. Thank you so much. There is need for me to address that this podcast, this platform is an apolitical platform. So it is not on a political defined to address political issues as case may be. All we tend to do is to bring up issues and matters that are arising in our society to address them in a way that our citizenry will be well empowered with the knowledge they need to live safely and make sure that Edo State remains in peace and harmony. So now, before I hear from Osbem, because I needed to mention this so that we understand that we are not here to fight. It is a platform for dialogue and mutual understanding. So I naturally know right now that you are going to oppose what he has said because I saw while you were smiling when he was making mention of some things. And from what he has said, it means that the governor of Edo State has definitely identified, in quotes, that Peter Obi is a crowd mover, like you said, right? It means that he knows that he has the capacity to move people in Edo State to come out and be excited. So I don't know what your views would be on this matter today, based on what the governor has said in these past few days, and what are your take? Also, looking at it from what he has said.
All right. Once again, I want to thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And well, I think that it is a problem of the choice of words, as it were.
Oh yeah.
And the best way to communicate your information and pass it. When we were in school, they used to tell us that effective communication is that which goes through a medium from the sender to the receiver, and that you are carrying a message between the sender and the receiver is a message. Now, that your message reaches the receiver and the receiver understands everything you have passed is what makes it effective communication. Now, for the purpose of this, I would oblige us that we clearly establish the distance, or rather the difference between informing and what you say when you mean what you mean when you say permission, because we are guided by a set of laws, and these laws are embedded in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. So when you make some statements that almost indicate as if it is a direct attempt to clamp down on democracy, then you must start looking at the Constitution. I understand when my friend said that some things may not be constitutional, but they are conventional. However, if you now go to the extent at which that message that was sent or passed by the governor went, and for the reach that it carried, and from the person it came, because he's the governor of the states, and like he said, the chief custodian of the security of the states. So if you send that type of a message to another person that he regarded as a PEP or as a PEP, you must start to look at what the Constitution provides. And Section 41, subsection 1 of the Federal Republic of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria clearly states that there is freedom to movement.
Yeah.
And in its establishment, it's stipulated that you as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has the right to settle anywhere in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to go anywhere. Now, the only the addendums that were in subsection 2, which would say is a caveat of the section 1 of that part of the Constitution, now went ahead to establish what and what, or under what and what circumstance you can now say this person has lost the freedom that was established in subsection 1 here. And that is if this individual, for example, is being tried for for a crime and needs to be extradited out of the country, then you can say, no, this person he has lost his freedom of movement and this person needs to be extradited. Now, the other one is when this person has been known to have committed an established crime. And now, let's come back to what the center discussion is on that perspective. We have a governor, duly elected governor of Edo State, and then an individual, because Peter Obi is first a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria before a formal presidential candidate. Yeah. Now, we also want to reestablish that 2027 election that we are talking about is very, very far. So we cannot, as at now, call Peter Obi a presidential candidate of any political party. So it means that his presence in Edo was not as a political candidate in an election. Yeah. That is where coming here. He came to Edo as an individual and as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It may interest you to know that the same day he visited Edo, he visited 3 or 4 other states. And his aim, his targets, his agenda visiting those states is never a political rally or a political gathering. Hence, when you say that, well, credit to my colleague here and the governor who understand or recognize that this person is a crowd mover. However, I am an ardent supporter, if I'll put that, of Peter Obi, but I wasn't even aware that he was in the States. It wasn't publicized. The individual citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria sneaked into the States, visited 1 or 2 persons, made a donation to an hospital and disappeared. And what he said when he mentioned that Peter Obi ought to have informed the governor now becomes a matter of will and courtesy, like he mentioned. But if I'm not coming to do a political rally in a state and I'm coming to see my friend who lives in the States, I see no reason why I should first inform the governor that I'm coming to the States. I don't know if you understand what I get your point. And the series of conversations, the series of statements that was made before the governor made that statement will now tell you that this is no longer a subtle conversation, as it were. Yeah. The governor began by mentioning that he called his name, Peter Obi, said he does not have shishi, except from the 2023 general elections. However, he has entered the state to come and make a donation of 15 million naira to an hospital. And the governor asked, where did he get 15 million naira for somebody who said he does not have shishi? Before he now said that he's sending a direct message to Peter Obi, and I quote, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So it is the series of conversations before that will now set the tune for what the governor made when he made that remarks. And again, before I started, I said we should establish that there is a clear difference between informing and asking for permission. If you say ask for permission, it means that there are certain laws that must be followed, and that this now become a law for which if you don't or if you break, it has repercussion. So if I say that as you are coming, inform me, I've left it as a matter of will to say it's rather the tune for that is still very, very subtle. But if I say as you are coming, ask for my permission, it means that there are protocols or there are laws that must be followed. So when you go through with those type of terminologies, you force the people who are receiving, or rather the receivers of that message, to turn back to the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and ask, is this constitutional or is it just merely conventional?
All right, thank you. Some days back, I had 2 guys. They were arguing somewhere while I was going to a location for a shoot. While I was going, I heard them arguing about the same issue that we're talking about right here. Like I said, it's matter arising. This is what is arising at the moment. Now, one of them was saying why the issue came up. One said, because you did not support the governor during the last election. That's why you're talking like this. If you had supported him, you would not have said the things that you're saying right now. So what does supporting the governor to emerge in the states as governor, what does he have to do with seeing this issue from perhaps a moral standpoint or any way possible? Like, does supporting the governor has anything to influence our thinking or our judgment of what he has said? From what he has said, there was a podcast I watched one time by Edo State. He said, for you to understand what a statement means, you have to first of all go back to the pretext, understand what was said before that statement, and sometimes understand the post-text of what was said after that statement. That will give you an understanding, a clear-cut understanding of what that statement that was said means. So what does supporting a government and election, being an APC member, has to do with the statement that the governor has made?
My brother listeners too. This thing is very simple. We are analyzing this thing from a moral standpoint.
Yeah.
From a presuppositionless view.
But do our politicians in Edo State or in Nigeria operate from a moral view?
My brother, I don't know. I'm not your man. You're not in that.
So that means you are moral.
I don't know where I cannot tell where you are speaking from.
I'm speaking from a moral standpoint.
Say here. Supporting the government in the last election should not, should not give birth to maybe a situation whereby you are now being biased or in your judgment.
True.
Being an APC member or not,
If you want to address social issues or issues that concerns the country, you have to address it from a moral standpoint, from a neutral area. You analyze it if this thing is right or wrong. But in this context, my brother, if you should observe it from a presuppositionless view, if we should observe it from a moral standpoint, the governor said nothing wrong.
Okay.
Because my brother here made a statement. Please, if I should misquote you, please correct me. He made a statement that Obi snuck in, that his coming to the state was not planned.
No, sorry. I didn't say it wasn't planned.
Okay.
I said the citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria sneaked into a state and sneaked out of that state. That's what I said. I didn't say it wasn't planned.
You made reference. You made a statement relating to that it was not planned, that he just came.
No, I didn't say I didn't say it wasn't planned, please. I said that he snuck in as a normal individual, as a normal citizen of Federal Republic.
I understand the two of you. For example, me, I am entering Lagos. I want to go do a shoot, for example. As a citizen of Nigeria, a qualified, bona fide citizen of Nigeria, I have to inform the governor. Hi, the governor. It's not my friend, for Shapo. Or inform me, sir, and come to your state, provide security for me. I have the shoots to do in your state. That would really make a lot of sense. So he's trying to say now that as a normal citizen, you have every right to move about and all of that. You are saying from a PEP point of view, he needed to inform the governor since he has already established a political identity.
Of course.
Move forward.
Peter Obi, like I said before, is a PEP. He's a politically exposed person. My brother says he snuck into the state. That man did not sneak into the state.
It's why you are laughing for me when you say that.
He did not sneak into the state. Every single visit he made, every single move he made, they were carefully planned. Because if he snuck into the state, maybe he would have been received by maybe his orderly, and his orderly will travel with him. Maybe his driver, and he will move to Wales, and he will move to wherever he wants to go. No.
But you have said he was somebody who can move crowd. If you just hear that Obi is around, what would the response say?
Okay, you heard the statement he made.
I did.
He said he's sneaking. What does it mean to sneak?
Hide and seek.
People came to receive him at the airport. People were waiting for him at the airport. I don't want to mention names right now.
You could mention that.
No, I don't want to mention names. People received him at the airport. He went to St. Philomena. I have a lot of friends in St. Philomena. St. Philomena they operate a hospital. They also operate a nursing school. I have some friends that are students of St. Philomena. I have never been an obedient. I have never supported any party in my life. And I was already aware that Peter Obi was coming to the States. I'm not even a member of the State Executive Council. I'm not privy to security information as regards the States. I got to know that Peter Obi was coming to the State through the WhatsApp status of my friend who schools in St. Philomena.
That means they were all aware.
They were all aware that Peter Obi was coming. They were aware that Peter Obi was coming. The management of St. Philomena made arrangement for his arrival. Students are in their hostels and were not on duty because nursing obviously is a practical, the custom some up to the shifts and the rest. The ones that were in school hostels were mobilized to meet Peter Obi. All these things were planned. He did not sneak into the States. His visit to the States was planned. He didn't sneak in.
I think it's important for us to establish that my choice of words when I said sneak does not mean unplanned. What I meant is that he came into the state quietly. You can, if you Google the dictionary meaning of the word sneak, you are going to bear some characteristics. One is silence.
Oh yeah.
A state of total silence. And then another state, another quality or that you will find or element of the word sneak is an undiscoverable state, as it were. Now, you would ask yourself the question. Let's look at those two qualities. The first one is in a state of silence. There was no publicity done as to his arrival or as to his visits. So if the particular institution for which he has chosen to give his esteemed presence make internal plans to receive him, I think that is allowed in any system. There was no billboards. There was no flyers done to that effect. I didn't even see an online flyer. That's why I said he snuck into the state. The other quality is an undiscoverable state. And the undiscoverable element of the word sneak will be relative when it comes to Peter Obi. For example, I think I have a dermatologist at St. Philomena. If I want to see my dermatologist, for example, I will enter and leave, and only my dermatologist and maybe the people that collected my vital signs and the secretary or maybe the nurse who takes my file to the doctor.
Yeah.
And the doctor herself, because she's a female. Only those three persons will know that I visited there, except somebody knows me there. So that state is an undiscoverable state. But for Peter Obi, it is relative. You have agreed that this guy is a crowd mover. And what is undiscoverable to Peter Obi may be popularity to me. That state for which he entered St. Philomena and left, regardless of the dancers that received him in a traditional Benin way, God bless them, was an undiscoverable state compared to what will happen if there is publicity that Peter Obi is coming. We have seen this man in his full mind and capacity. We have seen him when it was announced that he is coming. In the then Edo State government led by former governor, what's his name now? Obaseki, Godwin Obaseki. They had to refuse entrance or usage of the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. Then we started looking for places to use that will meet the capacity of Samuel Ogbemudia. And it was very, very difficult. Before we arrived at Baptist High School, people who can remember would know the type of crowd that was there that day. You could barely breathe. That is Peter Obi in his discoverable states. So the state for which he entered St. Philomena and left is a relatively undiscoverable state, if you consider the personality of Peter Obi, because no publicity was made. That's why I use the word that he sneaked in and he sneaked out. Now, to what you asked concerning the elections perception of our leaders as in relative to whether you supported them or not, I supported the current government of the state in my own little way during the elections. And I don't owe anybody any apology to say that I supported him. Because when you are approaching an election, you are given an array of personalities to choose from. And you would make your choice. You would decide an informed choice based on your personal belief and conviction. And I don't owe anybody an apology to say I supported the governor. However, you now ask the question as to why I may want to say that this is unconstitutional and this is constitutional, because I have refused to say that this is wrong and this is right. The question is it constitutional or not? And then when you now say, is it a topic for debate that I would want to be interested in, considering what my stance and position will be and why I would do that? The answer to that question is for us to have a saner society and a democracy that is not dented with personal gains or whatever it is. There is a political party ideology behind every candidate that comes out. Quite agreed. Yeah. And in Nigeria, we have often questioned the beliefs of these political parties, their set of laws which they had in their party constitution, and then the patterns for which they select who represent or who flies their party ticket. But at the end, for the common man, it is expected of you to make a choice as to who you vote in the election. However, in saner climes, we have seen Republicans being the first to criticize a candidate, no, not a candidate now, a serving member who is a Republican, when they make reforms that are anti-people. And they do that because they want to sanctify their democracy. And because, again, for you to have a government that is pro-people, for you to have a government whose reforms are channeled towards making the people better, then constructive criticisms must not only come from opposition, it must as well come from internal members of the party. Because sometimes when you have a mole in your eyes and a complete stranger who you perceive can be your enemy comes and tells you there's a mole in your eye, remove it, you may not be quick to act. But if your sister, a family member who you know, or a brother now tells you there's a mole in your eyes, take it off. You act faster to remove it. That's what we need to understand in our democracy. That party affiliations shouldn't be the reason why you support or you criticize a government. That you are able to point out deficiencies sometimes in a government that you supported, so that the aim now is not to demarket that person, but to let him know that there's a better way you could have done this and there's a better way this can be done. I think that answers your question.
Okay, that's fine. While we're trying to round off, because we're already fast behind fast behind schedule, we understand that there is a forthcoming election in Nigeria, and the fact that we're operating a democratic system, democracy does not give room for citizens to act crazy. Because the truth is, we all have to act sane for us to approach the election with the right mindset and choose leaders that can carry our matters on their head and actually propose good laws, bills, and whatever the case may be that will make us live in a sane environment. So before we go, I want to hear final words from the two of you. Yeah. So based on everything we have said, it is still very important. Okay. Okay, please quickly do before we round off.
Use this analogy that you are painting as regards sneaking in and sneaking out.
That is painting, not me. You are pointing me and saying that, Lao.
As regards sneaking in and sneaking out. You are claiming someone smoke into the state and was received
by Benin traditional dancers. My brother, where is he found? After being received by Benin traditional dancers, they drove a convoy to St. Philomena. And upon arrival at St. Philomena, there was media coverage. Or do you want to tell me it was St. Philomena that paid for the media coverage?
There was no media. How would you have seen it? Social media is media.
Okay, social media is media, fine. So you not trying to, does St. Philomena have any social media page?
That could have allowed
The students have phones.
The student have phones.
You from a student who has a phone.
The student have phones, it's true.
How dare was it announced that Peter Obi made a donation of 15 million?
So the question for both of us is, did you see it on any TV?
Allow me to finish. You are not saying that Peter Obi made a donation of 15 million. Who publicized it? It was publicized by his Labour Party members in Edo State. It's the truth.
Oh, yeah?
The person that made it popular, that made it go viral on Facebook, that most of us in Edo use, is a non-Labour Party member. It was through his Facebook page that I got to know that, okay, this guy's donated 15 million.
What if that money was donated for health challenges or people that are facing that also?
My brother, no politician will go and donate money to somebody if it's not
Interested in something.
I'm telling you, yes.
Peter Obi donated 150 million naira to that same project in 2022.
2022, he was gearing up to contest for presidency also. Before 2022, which other known
He has been donating to both education and healthcare even before he became governor of Anambra State. After he became governor of Anambra State, there are series of donations again. So healthcare, Peter Obi may not give you money to do fine, but if I cannot give you money to do fine, but that's why I will tell you that he does not have shishi. But you see, to education and to healthcare, before he became governor, after he became governor, he continued. Before he started campaigning to be president of Nigeria, he has been doing it. So let's not, why might you want to be to contest for governor, to become a governor? Is it an ambition you wake up one day to contest for? But you can't say ambition you wake up all day. No, it's something you prepare towards. Well, this is still at least, in fact, some persons even go about 10 years before, doing things to make them look good in the eyes of the people. If we go that lane, my brother, if we go that lane,
The problem I have with business is the fact that what they feel that what they think is the best thing. That what other people think is rubbish. That's the problem.
The question. Let's all be frank. Let's all
Let me Frank and Cecilia round off, please.
Just a reaction to the last thing he said. I know him very well. We know ourselves.
You don't know me very well.
And at our own little way, we have been engaging in philanthropic gestures,
Oh, yeah?
helping people who are sick, making contributions, and any way we can.
Because and financial.
People, everybody. In fact, we always intend that stays in our closet and doesn't come out. Now, it will be unfair if in 10, 15 years from now, he vies for governor and somebody tells him that it's because he plans to be governor that he was engaging in those philanthropic gestures.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Some things are in it. Some things are.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Okay, you have done some done some humanitarian activities, right? Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
Because I want to help the society.
You wanted to help me work. As at that time, what were you? As at that time, what were you?
As a citizen of Nigeria.
No. Pregnant man, I know you to an extent.
Pregnant man, is he giving birth now?
Wait, I don't know. What
Why you pay school fees for university students because you were contesting for presidency?
But that's
And also,
after the election.
even after the election, you became vice president of Minibed. Abi?
Okay, we are
Wait,
establishing.
you became vice president of Unibed.
Yes.
And why were you doing those things? Don't look good in the eyes of people. And you
No,
cannot tell
no,
me. Wait. We're not.
On the platform.
We're in a live program. Abi? We're in a live program. Do you want to not say here now that you don't have any political ambition?
I can't say I don't have a political ambition.
You are doing all these things so that you will have something to refer back to. That once I was in school, I did this.
Does that-
But I think the Holy Book, the Bible, and also admonished us, for example, to carry out
My brother, in this
things
part
out
of
of
the world
love.
that we have found ourselves, people don't carry out philanthropy just like that.
That's a general statement. I don't think that's right. That's general. It's not right. There are people who do without intention.
Ask him,
That's-
the reason why he was paying university
that's
school
not-
fees.
that's not right.
It's because he wanted to be a president.
Wait. I didn't say.
The reason you were paying the best school fees is it because of the university president,
I didn't say that.
And also have something to refer back.
No.
and also have something to refer back to.
He is the one saying now.
It's the truth.
He's the one saying now that they are Uniben students.
have to be-
When I
we have
said
to be fair to ourselves.
when I said we pay school fees for people, I didn't say they are Uniben students. You specifically mentioned Uniben
Because it's the
students.
truth.
No,
Okay,
wait.
they are students of which institution?
Now, assumably that these students are students of the University of Benin, yeah, and that we, as at that time, have either heard or ran for office or planning to run for a future office. Quite frankly, you may be right. That again, when you get to in this part of the world,
when you get to aspire for office, questions will be asked as to your antecedents. But saying that the antecedents now informs your decision to assist and to help people who genuinely need this assistance will not be fair. And again, to a politician or to a random person who intends to hold a position in the future and work towards it, or as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it will also not be fair to say that every act of philanthropy has an alternate reason or motivation behind it, as you have mentioned.
Almost every philanthropic gesture in this part of the world we have found ourselves, it has an undertone.
But people have foundations.
People have foundations, yes. What made them to open foundation? It's because they have political ambition.
Many of them don't. I've seen many who don't.
Many of them, it's because they have political ambition. I'm telling you.
I can say some of them though.
Many, my brother.
Say many.
Many of who.
See, okay, it's okay. See, please, thank you very much. You're already fast behind time. So, citizenry of Edo State, Benin City inhabitants. We have. No, I wanted you guys to give a final comment based on everything we have said. You know, everything we have been discussing since.
Final comments is still very important.
Yeah, very valid. Everything we have been discussing, there needs to be like a take home, that something very, a statement or two. A take home for everyone to understand that we are not rivalry right here. We are not fighting. We are only discussing on this platform to prefer peace for Edo State. Oh, yeah, you see what we're talking about. So one platform, one people and everything. So what is your final comment, my brother? Okay, you started. Let me start now. Okay, no problem. Let me start now.
Okay, I think that for me, it's important to state that our democracy in Nigeria at this point is being questioned. Not only questioned by citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, but questioned by people who are watching and observing us from outside, and people who were the initial people who initially practiced democracy are looking upon us to observe and to make informed choices as to whether we have adopted the right type of democracy from them, and if we are practicing it as we should practice. I understand when people say that we don't need to look at the credibility from these international communities, but let's not also forget that they play a larger role in the economic activities that goes on in Nigeria. Now, having said that, the tension in the system ahead of 2027 is heightened right now. We have coalitions here and there, we have defections here and there, and at this critical time, statements can be misconstrued. To that end, we admonish that the political actors within the states and outside are careful with the choice of words so that it doesn't send a wrong message. Edo is said to be one of the most receptive states. Everywhere you go, they will tell you that, in fact, we are being crucified, that we are losing our language because of how much we have accommodated people, and now we can't speak it to ourselves anymore for fear of them not understanding during communication. And as a result of that, some of our children don't even know how to speak our language anymore.
We're going to work on that. Thank you very much, Mr. Osbem. So your last statement.
My brother, Mr. Stewart, is very simple. In life, we should learn to judge matters from a neutral perspective.
Very important.
We should not just go about judging issues because we have a particular likeness or love for somebody. And also, when we do things, we should learn to do things well. Because you, for example, okay, let's assume you remember the Nigerian Parliament, right? We can just imagine, for example, now, let me use, for instance, your then speaker, Madam Speaker, then visited Delta State, and she informed the members representing Delta State that she was coming. And Madam Speaker also came to Edo State, and she did not inform you. My brother, you will not be happy.
I think that analogy is...
You will not be, I did not start, sorry, madam. I mean, you didn't know? You will not, obviously, you will not be happy. Personally, I feel Peter Obi slighted the governor of Edo State by not informing him before coming to the state. The governor meant no harm when he said Peter Obi should at least inform him, take permission. It's not take permission, at least inform him before coming to the state.
All right, thank you so much.
On the lighter note, Peter Obi, please inform our governor before you come.
Before you come.
We didn't say you should take permission, but inform him.
The governor, yes, because even when he wanted to go to Benue State to go and do philanthropy,
he had to reach out to the government.
He reached out to the governor
and he backed out.
So why will he disregard the governor of the most receptive state in the world?
Well, thank you so much. I will steal his words. Edo State is the most receptive state in the world. Our citizenry, our political class, we are very sane. Come to Edo State, do investments. We can actually help you reproduce and bring out profits from all your outcomes. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode today on the Matters Arising podcast, Movements for a Peaceful Edo. Thank you so much, Osbem. Thank you so much, Osarete. Thanks so much for coming. Thanks so much for coming. So we're going to see you on the next one, guys. I am Stuart Osazua.